Yo, welcome back to the Sporting Tribune today, and we are about to be talking about some college football. I told you at the beginning of the show, we're going to head to Southern California and LA and USC and all the craziness. But before we get to do that, because we are talking about college football, my agenda will continue. Michigan should be abolished when it comes to their college football program and should never be allowed to play college football again. All their wins should never count. Got that out the way. Good. Now, before we bring in our guests to talk about USC and everything going on with them, we need to give some flowers around. We need to give some flowers out because the team that's been covering USC this entire season has been kicking ass. Our guest that's coming up, Josh Fisher, has been doing an amazing job. He'll be in here in a second, but also Fredo Cervantes has been killing it. Matter of fact, went viral this past weekend on SportsCenter, on ESPN, Bleacher Report, because he got the moment where Caleb Williams just wanted to cuddle with his dog like we all want to. With that being said, let's bring in Josh Fisher to close out the show. Mr. Fisher, this is basically going to be a therapy session. So we'll start off with this very simple question. How you feeling, bud?
Well, first of all, I'm feeling great to know my boy Fredo went viral. I didn't know that that was the clip. I know a lot of people had the action on it. I was in the room too. Super bizarre. Fredo posted the clip. He does the Sporting Tribune. I try to do the TikTok when I'm there, but he does the Twitter and so on and so forth. And he caught the moment and he was quick with it. And I'm so happy that my boy, my homie, was the one that they used. Great dude. He's coming up, like you said. Here's the deal. If your basketball team was down 25, 8 minutes to go, with 15 seconds left, y'all cut it to 7. You'd say, great, but too little, too late. And that's the situation we have here with Alex Grinch. Like, great, you let him go. You did what you had to do, but too little, too late. Like, the damage is done, man. Like, here's the deal. All right, the Notre Dame game got away from you. That can happen. Utah game, all they had to do is get a stop. They had the lead. You got to stop, you win the football game, right? You got to stop at any point. Dude, the Washington Huskies, bro, they had one 100-yard rusher. One 100-yard rusher heading into that game. My man ran for 250. 250 yards, bro. Like he was Adrian Peterson playing against like a middle school team. That good. And it wasn't like 250 tough. It was 250 untouched, bro. Turnstile defense they were playing. And here's the sad thing about the USC defense. Go down the line. There are pros on this team. Bird, Muhammad, pros. Those guys will be in the NFL. Like Gentry can maybe latch on somewhere. Like, dude, Kalen Bullock, if he was playing for Georgia or Alabama or one of the SEC schools, he'd be a top 15 pick. And he's a safety. They don't take safeties in the top 15, but he'd be a top 15 pick. Like they call his name for all the right reasons all the time. Like, Grinch is a really nice guy, and I've said it time and time again. I've written about it time and time again. He's so good to the media, so open, so nice and kind. But at the end of the day, like, his players didn't execute his game plan properly. They never did. They didn't do it at the end of last year. They got bamboozled by Utah. Dude, they lost to Tulane. The reigning Heisman winner lost to Tulane. Or I shouldn't say him because he did all he could. Like he did this past weekend. Yeah, the fumble. Yeah, the sack. He probably should have gotten the ball away from him. Most of the negativity comes from his post-game actions, which I could get to in a second. But he did all he could, bro. He was masterful out there. He was magic, man. That 4th and 1 touchdown he threw to Rice, that might have been the play of the year, bro. That spin move he hit, him behind the pocket, he's not going to have that time in the NFL. But from a college standpoint, this dude did all he could. If you put up 42 points in regulation, you better expect to win that game. And he's doing it every week, man. That Cal game, skin of their teeth. That should have been nail in the coffin right there. I get maybe you don't want to make a change before a big game at home against Washington. But like that was like, it wasn't even like Penix was that sick. He wasn't. Like he was fine. He was good.
He had that great highlight. He had that one touchdown was crazy.
Cool. Like, all right, like everyone's good. He's good. He's a pro. I'm sure he did. He had a pro highlight. That's what it is. But like he didn't, it's not like he went for 450 and they couldn't touch him. It's not like Rome and Polk, like they balled. It's not what happened. They literally beat USC at not their own game. That wasn't their game. And they adjusted and Grinch couldn't adjust with it. And that's why he's not the defensive coordinator anymore.
When it comes to Caleb Williams, before we get to the post game, where everyone being super dramatic about it, at least in my opinion,
Sure.
I want to talk to you about you brought up Tulane and like, look, the season's not over. Still some games to be played. But how tough of a pill is it to swallow for USC fans to realize that there will be no playoff with Caleb Williams in his tenure here at USC unless he comes back next year, which more than likely he won't. But
Okay. For my buddy who works with players, right? He's like reps, like not like reps. He's not an agent, but he's like a money guy with players.
mhm.
He tells them A1 day one, you will not make more money in college no matter what NIL deal you sign than you will in the pros. Point blank, period, especially with the first overall pick. He's not coming back. They are not getting a title with Caleb Williams. And that's because it's not that Riley is a bad coach, it's that he's too good of a friend. He didn't let his homie go when he should have. He's too good of a friend, man. He put his bros before the game and it bit him in the ass, for lack of a better way of putting it. Like, that's what happened, man. Like, he should have let Grinch, like, he should have brought in a real defensive coordinator last year. It's not like Grinch was killing it at OU. He wasn't, man. Like, he's not there yet as a defensive coordinator. Maybe he'll like get a job as like a position coach and work his way back up. I hope he does. Again, a really nice dude. But that's the pill they have to swallow. But they're still playing for if they beat Oregon, if they beat UCLA, like they're going to the Pac-12 championship game. It's better than nothing. There's still something to play for. Williams is still going to be suited up. And like, yeah, I don't disagree with you. People are making a lot. Look, he hops in the stands. He's crying and sharing a moment with his mom. We've all been there with our moms, parents, or guardians or whatever. Like, I hope you have. Like, sometimes when
If you care about something and it doesn't work out, like,
yeah, you care about, dude, like, he gave it his all, bro. And there was nothing he can do. He's not on defense. And it happens every week for the kid. The kid, by the way, he's a young guy in college. Yeah, I'm sure he's upset and devastated. And when he hugs his mom, emotions let go of him. The issue I have is in the post game. And I wish he went out with Lincoln. That would have been a lot easier. But if he's going to come out there, you're the captain of this team. Heavy lies the crown, bro. Heavy lies the crown. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. And again, he's a really good player. And when you see him in practice, he's a really good teammate. He is the last guy. He's the first guy in, last guy out type of guy. And everybody says it. There's no doubt in my mind that players love him. But at the end of the day, media is part of the game. And it always will be. Like, you will not be the kid to break up the marriage between media and sports. It's never going to happen. Players will always fight it, but it is what it is. Tale as old as time, man. So he has to embrace it, understand his role with the team, and he's the leader, for better or for worse. And it is a tough pill to swallow. I'm sure I've not been there. I've not lost a game like that. But it's a tough pill to swallow. And if you are going to be the first overall pick, NFL franchise type of guy, leader of this team, arguably one of the best college players ever, you better be there, sitting front and center, and taking the blows for your team, not laying down and sulking in the corner, which what he was doing, looking disinterested, giving sarcastic, disinterested answers, rocking his Heisman jumpsuit. Like, come on, bro. Is it me or is it we? I know, like, deep down, I know he's a we guy. So why are you acting like this? Why are you?
It's been a lot of frustration this season, though, dude. And you brought it up earlier. Like, this doesn't fall on his shoulders. So, like, at what point, what are you going to do? You're going to have to answer all these questions about stuff that you had no control of? Like, I get it. I understand. He has to be there. There has to be obligations. We just actually, WNBA Finals, the Liberty, when they got eliminated and the Vegas won the championship in New York, they were not made available. They got fined by the league. You can't do that. You have to be there when things are good. You have to be there when things are bad. But
I would have rather
he was there. Fair enough. I just think I thought some of the reaction are like, this is going to affect his draft stock. Like, honestly, do you believe that? Do you think that's real? Like, that to me, that's BS.
Who are you taking, bro? Like, what are you going to, who are you, if the tackle from Notre Dame or the tackle from Penn State really blow it out the water, they really pop off in the combine, like maybe some team could be tricked into doing it. But if it's the Cardinals, if they have the first overall pick, it's bad management if they take Caleb Williams because of the Kyler Murray contract. They're going to do what the Bears did. They're going to trade it for a haul. They'll trade it to the Buccaneers. They'll trade it to the Falcons. They'll trade it to maybe the Green Bay Packers once they get, their heads out of their what's and realize Jordan Love's not the guy and they don't have time with him anymore because it's been 4 years and they can't like throw him a contract because he's not showing it. He deserves it. Patriots can move up. Giants can move up now that Daniel Jones has unfortunately torn his ACL, but he wasn't playing that great anyway. The Cardinals pick is going to be so valuable and they can get a king's ransom and they need it. So if you're the Cardinals, you're going to trade the pick and he's going to go first overall. Drake May hasn't done enough. You can't take a wide receiver first, bro. You can't. Like, that's crazy. Like, the only position you can take first overall in this day and age is offensive tackle, edge. And if your team is really ready for it, or that's a can't miss kind of guy like Caleb, quarterback.
Before we get out of here, any final thoughts?
Yeah, man, it's a crazy college football season. I'm a Texas guy, like through and through. I'm a Longhorn, so I'm waiting for that Michigan, little thing you threw at the top. I'm waiting for hopefully Michigan loses to Penn State this weekend. Hopefully Ohio State. Hopefully Ohio State loses to Michigan, and hopefully Penn State drops the game and Texas can slip in, because I think Florida State, Washington, Florida State are kind of looking like they're gonna, or at Oregon, if Oregon goes undefeated the rest of the way and beats Washington, it looks like it's going to be Georgia automatically, unless something barring disaster. But Florida State's got such an easy schedule, so interesting way to go. Unfortunate for the Trojans, though. Really unfortunate. This is a lot of talent on this team.
Look, we still got a couple weeks left, and we still have amazing coverage. Hopefully we go viral a couple more times, because now these post-game press conferences are must-see television, because we don't know what to expect.
If you got Fredo, you're going to go viral, bro. You got Fredo. He's the key, bro. He's the key. And you could tell him I said that, dude. Be like, you're
telling the world right now. You're telling the world right now. Fredo is taking the Sporting Tribune to the moon, and so are you, Josh. As always, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Be good.
Boom, there it is. Let me double